We are in a home crisis, specifically in the Greater Vancouver area, and this is an issue that has been building up for years. In this short video, I'm going to highlight a few reasons why I believe that we're nearing the bottom of the market for home prices, why real estate is still a strong investment, and the trends and the stats that will back that up. Hey everybody, my name is Jonathan Lerner with the Vancouver Life Real Estate Group and eXp Realty, bringing you videos like this every single week to educate you on the Greater Vancouver market, how to buy, sell, and invest, and make better informed decisions when it comes to your real estate choices. If you have any questions at all about this video or your situation in general, go down to my link in the description box below and book a 30-minute call with me. Before I dive into why we are in a housing crisis, I have to share where current home prices are at, and I have to share the median and the average price because there's some really important metrics that you need to know in terms of where the market is heading. Currently right now, median home prices are $925,000, up another $5,000 over last month. So the past 2 months, we've seen a gain of $45,000 in the median home price. The average price dropped $25,000, but we are still above the average prices that we had back in June earlier this year. And here's why I share this. Since June earlier this year, interest rates have increased 2.75%. So despite this big, massive increase in interest rates, our prices are still back where they were in June prior to this last 2.75% increase. These are indicators that we are nearing the bottom of the real estate market in terms of home prices in the Greater Vancouver area. Since the peak in February and March earlier this year, we've dropped a total of about 10% in our home prices, but we've actually gained an additional 2% since that point. While we are down 8% in total from the peak, this is a very different market than out east in Toronto, where they're down about 25% off of their peaks. I've said this before, but Vancouver is a very unique and micro market that operates on its own set of parameters, and by comparison to the rest of the country in Toronto, you can see why. And to gain more confidence in the real estate market as a solid investment, I want you to take a look at this graph that shows the last 10 years of real estate home prices. And as you can tell, of course, there's going to be lots of peaks and valleys. And if you're looking short term, it can be very scary, especially right now. If you're just looking at the direction, the trend of home prices right now, it can be very scary. But if you look across the long term and you average these peaks and valleys out that you see on this graph, you can tell that there is a very steady upward trend in home prices. Immigration has seen over 700,000 people come into this country. Developers and builders have been scaling back or canceling new projects. And it is as a result of just simple economics of supply and demand, it is very hard to see prices going down much further here in this area. New towers can take upwards of 6 years in the Greater Vancouver area to be able to get approved. And this does two things. It further restricts our supply and the ability to bring new inventory to market. The other thing that it does is it increases the cost even further because now us as the end user, consumer, to be able to buy this new product, we have to pay for the holding costs. So if we were able to reduce the permitting process and the approval process for big projects and towers like this, ideally, that would cause a reduction in the housing prices because now the developers don't have to pass on the fees and the taxes that they've been paying for years just to be able to put a shovel on the ground and begin building a new project. The next thing I really have to point out for you is another 10-year chart here. And this chart that you're looking at right here is the trend of inventory supply. This is the past 10 years. Now, you're going to have the peaks and valleys, and they look a little bit more substantial on this graph as compared to the pricing graph. But the valleys that you see there, the bottom of the inventory is basically your December every year. That's going to be the lowest inventory across every single year. A lot of people take their homes off during December and the holidays. But what you can tell, again, if you average out those peaks and valleys, you get a downward trend of inventory. And again, we cannot build that fast. And so this trend is showing us that we do not have enough supply coming into the market and we're not building enough in general, let alone taking into account the interest rates that we've just had increase and more builder developers holding back or canceling the projects that they had planned. So this is not a good situation in terms of being able to bring more housing to market and house all these new people that are going to be coming into the country. 1 week from today is the next announcement from the Bank of Canada in terms of what the next rate hike will be. There will be a rate hike. Everyone has agreed that this is definitely what's going to happen. The big question is just whether it's going to be a 0.25% hike or a 0.5% rate hike. That's it for your update on the current real estate market as of November 30th, 2022. If you have questions, if you want to reach out, if you want to chat about real estate, please post your comments down below or go into the description box below and reach out to me on my other channels and contact info down there, or book a call with me through the link that's provided. Have an amazing day, and please make sure to like, subscribe, and click the bell to get notified of future videos so you are up to date on all things real estate in the Greater Vancouver market.